You. What's good? Let's see if we can find the feed. Where is it? Let's do that. 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 What does it sound like? Where's the headphones? All right, we'll have to get the headphones in, people. I've got them here somewhere. I've got them here somewhere. Just behind me. Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds. All right. I have to have the headphones with the 2-foot extension cord. Here's what it is. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Cool. All right. Okay. Okay, what's that? That went down? Okay. Right. Woo. We are here. We are live. And we are muted for a start. Oh, we got a super chat already. We have a super chat from the super sister named Karma Serene. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Really appreciate that. Hythy. Big up, big up, big up. Big up Karma. Big up Hamza. Big John is a dosser. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Dillian has got it all to do. You know, I know a lot of people want him to beat Fury, but he's got it all to do. He's got it all to do. You know, it's a difficult conversation, you know, because some people ain't gonna like what I got, but you know, I'm just gonna say what I have to say. America have a very, in particular, America, a very cold approach to this fight. Like, I understand the undercard is crap. Let's not get it twisted. Frank messed up the undercard, right? No doubt. But it's almost like they enjoy telling you that they're not watching. They're not going to watch it. Not even going to stream it illegally. they kind of get, yeah. Let me just let them know I've got no interest in this fight at all, which is cool. Which is cool. Some of that is stemming from sour grapes. Let's just keep it real. Let's just cut the bull crap rather than try and go round and round the points. Some of it is sour grapes because Wilder got handled. Tyson Fury handled Deontay Wilder in the last 2 fights. He did. And we saw the excuses. And it's, look, I shouldn't have to say it's all American. Obviously, it's not all Americans, right? The excuses they made, it went on too long. Like, I understand. Listen, sometimes people make excuses. You know, things go wrong and you react a certain way. Sometimes it's just impulsive. But for the length it went on, big up Lisa Bells. Big up Lisa. Big up Feed Khabib. Yes, the length it went on was just went on too long. It went on too long. It went on way too long, right? And sometimes, you know, it's just not your time. Sometimes it's not your time, you know? I worked it out in my head right? When Frank Bruno fought Mike Tyson in 1989, that was the 11th unsuccessful attempt by a British fighter to win that world title. And most of the attempts were against Americans, right? So that was the 11th unsuccessful attempt. So we're talking Bob Fitzsimmons won the title. Well, I haven't got the date. Was it 1890? Let me see what date it was exactly. Let me see. I like getting dates. And stuff like that. Bob Fitzsimmons. Okay. Versus. All right, this is a challenge for you. Someone, I know what it is. I've got the name in. What name am I looking for? Bob Fitzsimmons versus who? Let's see if someone can get it before I do. All right. Bob Fitzsimmons versus. Anyone can get it? I'll give you 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10. Slow 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Very slow 10. 2. 1. It's James J. Corbett. So we're talking 1897. 1897. The first Queensberry Rules heavyweight title fight was 1892. That was James J. Corbett and what's his name? John O'Sullivan. So we're talking from 1897 till 1989, 11 title attempts, right? And I've got all the names. I worked it all out. Gunnar Moore, he took on Tommy Burns. Probably before 1908. He lost his title to Jack Johnson. Was it 1908 or 1909? So, and Jack Palmer, he tried. Dewey Smith, he tried. That's 3 attempts gone. You had Tommy Farr, he attempted to take the title from Joe Louis, Yankee Stadium. Tommy Farr, one of the better British challengers. He took Joe the distance. That was Joe's first defense of the title. Don Cockle, he attempted to take the belt from Rocky Marciano. He got mauled. Henry Cooper had 1 attempt, I believe, against Muhammad Ali. They fought twice. I believe the second fight was at Wembley Stadium. They didn't do nowhere near the numbers that Fury and Finn are doing, though. Brian London, he had 2 attempts. Floyd Patterson and Muhammad Ali, and got stopped in both of them. Joe Bugner, he had 2 attempts against Muhammad Ali and failed in both fights. You had Richard Dunn and a pathetic performance against Muhammad Ali. I believe, was that in Belgium? It was in Germany. That was in Germany. Bruno was the 11th. Actually, Harry Carpenter might have got it wrong. Bruno was probably the 12th attempt. Maybe he's talking about this, the 11th different man, because Bruno actually failed against Tim Witherspoon before he fought Mike Tyson. Got battered. And because of all them unsuccessful attempts, and for the most part, the British heavyweight scene, it wasn't what it was today. Let's put it that way. And the Americans labeled the British heavyweights horizontal heavyweights. And if you know what position horizontal is, you'll understand why. Man's getting laid out. And we had to accept that. Not we, but Britain had to accept that we were just second best. And we have to come and do better. And what a lot of Brits don't realize is that this phase of Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Dillian Whyte challenging, and we got ranked contenders, Joyce and whoever, it might not last. It might not last because it's never happened. What they're not realizing, it's never happened like this. Like having an influx of people who hold belts, who've held belts, and are capable of winning belts. It might not last, right? This is what you call a boom period. Some people can't see it, but that's exactly what it is. It's a boom period. Remember, this is a very tiny country. Like somebody asked me the other day. I don't know where they were from. They weren't from England. They asked me, how far would it, how many miles or how many hours would it take to get from Sheffield to somewhere else? They were talking about either Kilbrook or Amir Khan. I said, dude, 4 hours in England, you'd end up in Belgium probably, right? It's a tiny, tiny, tiny country, right? So we are kicking well above our weights. And you need to enjoy it. You need to enjoy it. To rub it in, I'm going to rub it in. I don't think America have had a unified champion since Evander Holyfield in the 90s. I don't think you've had a unified champion since there, or a lineal champion. So it's been a minute. No one has an entitlement. Nobody has an entitlement on a heavyweight championship. You've got to appreciate it when it's there. You got to buy tickets, go see the fights when they're on, purchase the pay-per-views, buy the paraphernalia. You got to enjoy it. Like don't let nobody take your fight. Take your fight. Don't let no one do that. Because you just never know. You just never know. Frank Warren's got something incorrect though. I don't know how no one's pointed it. See, but people don't know. People don't know. I always end up like not bragging. Well, I am bragging. I guess it's bragging, isn't it? I guess it is bragging. Where is the stat? I forgot what I've got the stat here. I've got the stat. Frank Warren believes 94,000 is the biggest gate for a boxing event in Europe. Well, I'm here to tell you, Frank, you're incorrect. You're incorrect. You are incorrect, Frank. And Tyson Fury. They just keep saying it's the biggest gate in Europe. Biggest gate. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm going to bring the receipt as well. I'm going to bring the receipt. Here's the receipt. Here's the receipt. You see it? Dmitry Shudanov versus Mehdi Bula, 100,000. Now it was at an open air bike show, which probably accounted for such a big gate, but nevertheless, 100,000. That's the biggest gate. That's the biggest gate. Yeah. So when Frank says that, or anyone else starts bragging, it's the biggest gate, let them know Dmitry Shudanov versus Mehdi Bouagla. Right? That's the biggest gate. Now, obviously, some clever marketing, but the record stands and the record stands. And that's the record. That is the record. You know what I mean? Yep. Like what America have to realize, let's say, because look, everything has its period, right? Everything has its period. I've got one of the biggest hip hop collections, right, in this country because I just bought a whole load of vinyl. I've got a massive collection of vinyl and CDs. Most of them records were bought when New York ran shit. New York ran shit. And I'd probably say up till 88 because NWA came out, well, like whether it's NWA and the Posse, it was around 88 when they made their mark. 89, it really, was a force. It was a driving force. But up to that point, you just never thought that no other place could do hip hop like New York. You just like R.I.P. K. Slay, he died just the other day. But like the artists they had from Public Enemy, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. Forget them, man. The DJs like Flash, Chuck Chill Out, all them guys, man. That was hip hop. But eventually, it got out of their grasp. The West got it. They ran with it for a few years. Then the South had it. And now it's just like anybody. It seems like as long as you come up with some good hook and a good beat, anyone can have it now. I don't know who's got it now because I don't really follow it like that. So everything has its time. Everything has its time, man. You know what I mean? Everything has its time. And a lot of times, when it's your particular area having that boom period, whether it's hip hop or boxing or whatever sport, you don't really appreciate it until, it's gone. It's gone. It is gone. No one has an entitlement. Nobody has an entitlement. So I'll be buying the pay-per-view. Best man win, because look, if I'm gonna purchase the pay-per-view, I don't want to see no one-sided fight. I want to see a competitive fight. I don't want to see no one-sided. You know what I mean? I want to see a good fight. I don't want to see Dillian crush him in 2 seconds. I want to see a good competitive fight. You know what I mean? Get my money's worth. Hamza, he says, Hamza Habib says, John is a big dosser. Big John is a dosser. Dosser. Yeah, John just got this self-importance thing about him, isn't it? I don't know what that is. Big up, Lisa. She says, big up Beats in the chat. Big up, big up. Feed. He says, Europe has been running the heavyweight scene for a long time. Lennox, Vlad, Vitali, AJ. Americans cannot stand it and hide behind all our heavyweight champions are in the NFL and NBA. Yeah, that is true. That's always the answer. Hey, you hit that on the nail. Every time you ask what happened to the American heavyweights, they're all in the NFL and NBA. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I believe so. Look. When you go into these things, there's normally a ring of truth, but it's not the total answer. Do I believe there are potential boxers who could, step up and be good heavyweights? Yes, but it's not the whole sum total. I mean, of what we're talking about. Are we trying to say that if you just unload the NBA and NFL into the boxing ring, you're going to be? Nah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. Derek Clark, big up. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Hamza, who have I got? You got to have Fury the favorite, isn't it? Fury's the favorite. Of course, Fury's the favorite. Dylan's got it all to do, but you never know. You never know. Feed says the great American beacon of hope. Wilder just got smashed to smithereens by a fat gypsy, and they cannot stand it. Yeah, it it destroyed some of them. Like I was actually watching some of them on camera because some people give me the videos, and it looked like some of them wanted to kill themselves or kill people. It was quite disturbing. And you know what's good? Like, I don't want to bring it up, you know. You see that guy Frank James who shot up the subway in Brooklyn? I know his channel. He used to be the Prophet of Doom. He came by my channel, and I went and checked his channel out. I know the channel. And he used to talk a lot of craziness, but sometimes you combine it with stuff that made sense. And then, you know, I saw the story and I said, okay, let me look into this story. I looked at the face. I said, that's fucking him, isn't it? That's him. And you know when your mind is telling you no, it's not him. It looks similar, but it's not him. It's him. It was him. It was him. Yeah, it was him. It's crazy. But yeah, the question was, who did Bob Fitzsimmons beat Karma for the heavyweight title in 1897? The question: who did Bob Fitzsimmons beat for the heavyweight title in 1897? Do you know it? Hamza. How do I see the heavyweight division playing out this year? I see people getting knocked out. People getting knocked out. To be honest, if it weren't for the NBA and NFL, America would be major contenders in heavyweight. If it weren't, okay, all right. You believe that, yeah, Jay? So, all right. So tell me this then, if that's the truth, right? How come them sports were huge in the 80s and you had like Jim Brown and who else? All the top, like, let me not pretend I know it, right? All the top American footballers, but you still had Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Ken Norton, and Larry Holmes. How come you didn't need the NBA to give you boxers then, but you need that now? Can you answer that, Jay? Probably not. Probably not, Jay. Jude Pilgrim. I'm not going to answer Gareth Davis' questions, Jude. Gareth Davis is an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Gareth Davis is an idiot. Pro Fury Media. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Jude. The Pro Fury Media is disgusting. And someone has to talk to Gareth Davis. Someone has to talk to John Fury. That the world doesn't surround you guys. You can't be so biased. You can't be media and be so biased and it just be so one-sided that Tyson Fury is the be-all and end-all. It's just pathetic now at this stage here. People are, to be honest, I think people just, okay. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Anthony Mackin. Yeah, man. That's it, Lisa Bells. Red Alert, BDP, Kiss FM, Grandmaster Theodore, the man credited for inventing the scratch. Yep. True pioneers of the art form. New York. And I tell you what, man. You see, when the West Coast got hold of hip hop, that hit a lot of New Yorkers hard, right? A lot of people say that's where the grievances between the two coasts start. I don't know, because I'm not going to say that started it, because I don't live over there, so I'd be out of place saying, yeah, well, this started and that. I mean, but a lot of New Yorkers, and I used to know, so I used to talk to some of them, they didn't like it. And they deliberately hated on some of the music from the West, and some of it was good. Some of it was good. You know, like some of it was a bit over the top because you're just thinking, okay, everything is lowrider, gangster. Like, you know, like some of it just got a bit boring after a time to me. You know what I'm saying? Hyphy, in my opinion, Germany and London have the best MCs at this current time. I don't know. I don't follow a lot of the current stuff. You know what I mean? I don't follow a lot of the current stuff, so I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know. Boxing Hog 28 says, "No, as American, UK will continue to produce top heavyweights because the Olympic talent you guys developed, and it shows on the amount by what is spent. Because I was a boxing fan through British boxing." Okay, well, you have a great point there. You have a see. This is the thing. Like Rob McCracken gets so much criticism, but what he's done for that GB team, like he hasn't been given the all the people who given criticism haven't given the credit for how he has helped like produce all that talent from the amateurs and nurtured it. You know what I mean? From got it ready for the pros. It takes nurturing, and he's been at the helm of that. Rob McCracken. That's a good point. That's a good point. That is a good point. It's a very good point. Jay the Great. What's up, man? Lisa Bells, big up. Mr. Doc said exactly beats. NBA and NFL is just one of many factors. Yeah, it's just one of many factors. That's what it is. You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. Big up, Mr. Doc. Doozy. We know Dillian will give it his best shot. He better do. He better do. Because that undercard is whack. If he doesn't, I tell you what, if he flops in that fight, right, and Tyson wipes the floor of him, I don't care if I pay for it. I'm not even going to watch the rest of the undercard. I'll probably watch Eku Esuman, and I'm not even going to watch it. I don't care. I'm just I just have to count it off the expenditure. Tiger Twin Cities. The best American heavyweights are locked up in prison. America at the highest incarceration rate in the world. Damn. Carver says boxing is dead here in America. I had to ask people on Instagram if they wanted to go to the Spence fight with me. I have literally one friend that likes boxing as much as I do. Wow. And that's for free scraps as well. Free scraps. Yeah. See, in the 80s, that fight would have been huge, or the 90s. It would have been a huge fight. A huge fight. You know what I mean? Yeah, the answer is, anyway, Carmen, the answer is I forgot it now. James J. Corbett. He beat James J. Corbett for the title in 1897. Yeah. I agree, Carmen. That's why we're online. None of my friends watch boxing anymore. Yeah. I wonder why it's become so marginalized. Mr. Doc beats. If this is a close fight, who do the judges lean towards? I'm unsure given Fury's past and current issues. Boy, I ain't privy to the corruption, Doc, so I can't even answer that one. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. But see, that's the thing with the sport. Every big fight, you always have this suspicion of corruption. Like, you know, I mean, look, I critique Errol Spence. Like, I don't think the fight was fixed. They're saying the fight was fixed. I don't think it was fixed. I think when he went into the ropes, it should have been scored a knockdown. But I think there was an oversight by the referee. But the fight wasn't fixed. And I think people are actually paranoid about boxing right now. I think they're paranoid about the substance and the fairness And maybe justifiably so paranoid. Maybe so. Maybe so. Truth Sons, he says, Gareth is an absolute clown. An absolute clown. An absolute. Like, he's just a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. DJDW, he says, us Americans, see, he said, I'm glad he said us. If he was British, I was going to probably have to edit it. He said, us Americans have just gotten soft since then, domesticated. Okay. So what would you say are the factors in that? Is that diet? Is that like political correctness, wokeness, entitlement issues? What's the factors? What's the factors? Yeah. No, I can't stand Gareth Davis. I really can't. I really can't. Really can't stand. Ezzy, he says, morning beats, nice to wake up to this from Aberdeen, Scotland. Big up to Scotland. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. I mean, Scotland had their first Scottish heavyweight title in how long? Just the other day. It was Jay McFarland, who was he managed by Dave Allen? He lost the fight to who did he lose? I can't remember who he lost to. And I remember Johnny Nelson, he was kind of scathing of the standard of the fight, saying that, they need to come better than that. But you've got to make a start somewhere. You've got to make a start. So that guy who won the belt, eventually he'll have to defend. That's if there's any challenges. I don't know how much challenges there'll be in Scotland. As Gary, was it Highlander? What was his name? Gary Cornish, has he retired? He might be the only challenger. They might have to bring him out of retirement to get that guy a defense. But that's how it starts, isn't it? One man gets the belt. Then someone said, some kid, there's going to be one kid. He says, I can beat that guy. Is that the best we've got? Then he's going to do extra sit-ups, extra training, extra running. He's going to get good. And then he could be the next one to pick up the mantle. And then you run with it. It's got to start somewhere. It's always got to start somewhere. See, and that's I tell you one issue. Like somebody pointed it out earlier. I think it was I don't want to say his name incorrect. Boxing Hog 28. He pointed out the Olympic and the amateur system letting down America. It has let it down pretty badly. When you think that Andre Ward is the only American male to get a gold medal since, when was it? What was it, 2004? That's a long time. That's a long time back. So they've neglected the amateur system. Even when Deontay Wilder got that bronze. When Deontay Wilder got that bronze, America didn't even notice him. If you had got a bronze in England at that same time, they would have been like, he would have been on television and shit. He'd have been on TV and saying, yo, this is Deontay Wilder, man, bronze medalist. We would have made, like, so what if it's bronze? You went out there and you repped. But they ignored him. And for a long time, he fought mediocre opposition up there in the South or wherever it was. And that kind of messed up his development. Should have took on Klitschko to unify the belts. That didn't happen. And he stagnated. He stagnated into just the right hand, a very good right hand, but it's a shame. Truth Sons, that NBA, NFL is a damn excuse, Beats. It always comes up. It always comes up. Pick up Lisa. Tone, Gareth gonna ride the Fury train until the wheels fall off. Basically, yeah. Basically. You know what I mean? I actually saw him, right? I actually saw him in the ends, yeah? So, I'm in my work, man. And he's driving it. What was he? He had a Jag. I think it was a blue Jaguar. Quite a nice car, actually. So he seemed to think that he had the right of way. And I pulled in and I read, hey, that's him, innit? That's him. I mean, if I saw him before, I would have made him flipping do all type of Jim Screechy. Shit. I would have made him flipping have to crawl inside the crevices and shit. I mean, that's all right. DJ says we get offended by words in America, so who's going to want to get punched in the face? Yeah. Is what it is. Yeah, like Gareth A. Davis is like, well, I don't know. And they have no shame. They have no shame at all. They have none. Tom said, I always thought Tim Dog kicked off the East versus West foolishness when he made F. Compton. Yeah. That was crazy when he made. Like, I was like, whoa, you're going to make a record like that? Because there weren't really no record like that. Look, there was always battle raps. There was always battle records where man would throw shots at people. But this one here was a little different. That was like, you know what I mean? Motherfucker stepped to the rear and cheered. He went. I remember I bought the 12, man. I said, fuck it, this is crazy. That's crazy. That was crazy. But you know why he did that? He did it for publicity. He didn't do it because he particularly hated West Coast artists. He did it because that was the quickest way to get a name. Because when he made that record, like NWA were huge. They were huge. Yeah? They were huge. So it was just publicity. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Virtuoso, Tim Dog, F. Compton. Yeah. I remember it, man. Like the album was called Penciling on Wax. You know what I mean? Let's get down to the nitty gritty and talk about a bullshit city. Talking about from Compton, there no comp, and they truly ain't stomping. Tim Dog, a black man's task. I roll thick. What do you say? I whoop Superman's ass. Well, you need to do this from the West Coast. I'll distance spray your ass like a roach. You think you're cool with your curls and your shades. I'll roll thick and you'll be reeling out rape. He had like his lyrics. He was mad. And then he dissed Michelet. I'm not gonna do. That was crazy. It was crazy. That did start it. I think that did start it because Compton's Most Wanted, they replied, and Tweety Bird Loke, he replied, and obviously he was dissing Snoop Dogg, you know what I mean, and Snoop Dogg and Dre, they dissed him on, was it not Gin and Juice? Was it Gin and Juice? Luke's bending over. Well, no, it was it Dre Day? Was it Dre Day? Was it Dre Day? Dre Day. Yeah. It was Dre Day. Yeah. Back when the music was just pure quality. Anthony Mack and Beats, can we agree that Conor Benn is the next big thing in British boxing once the likes of AJ and Fury are off the scene in a few years? I can't wait because Benn is exciting to watch. Well, he's a bit of a fireball, isn't he? He's a bit of a fireball. You know what I mean? He's looking good at it. He's looking good. Lots of money. But then again, he's fighting all them old veterans, and you know, a lot of them can't hold. Like he's got genuine power, but them guys can't hold the power. They can't. Them man, geriatric body and chin, they're too weak to hold that power. Once they get them licks in their skin like that, they just fold up. They just fold. They just fold in their old bodies, man. You know what I mean? You can see like when Van Heerden took that first right hand to the head, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight. He got knocked up. Fair enough. He got bowled over, but it punched the fight out of him. Any ambitions he had, he took that right and he's like, nah, bro, no. See, that's the thing. When you get old, I'm talking about myself. We probably think, yeah, I can handle the young dude, but you kept one of them licks and nah, bro. I mean, when you were young, you could probably wear it off, but nah, bro, man. Unless you're Dillian Whyte's dad. See, Dillian was putting his dad up to fight John Fury. Can you imagine Dillian's dad? That hard-back Jamaican. Nah, bro, you don't fight them, man. Yeah, Guzzy, it's Corbett. Yeah. John would have. You think John Fury ain't fighting Dillian's dad? John, no, I don't think so. Bro. I don't think so. Oh, dear. True. He says, what do you mean no undercard? Shades of Golovkin is fighting a bin. I mean, John Fury said that Tommy is showing him shades of Golovkin. And this is the man, see, BT are too scared to tell him that, look, we don't want John up there. They're too scared. Has he got David Hay thrown off the broadcast? You know something? If David Hay ain't on the broadcast, I might not pay for it, you know. If David Hay is not, and it's not because I particularly want him on there, but if John Fury has so much flipping influence, I'm not going to pay. I ain't going to pay. I'm not going to pay. I'm fucking streaming illegally. Because it's too much, man. It's too much. The Furies are walking around like there's some gangsters or shit. Like, nah, man. Like, you run BT. Nah, man. No, bro. No. Lisa Bells, there is no big star after Floyd retired. And I always used to ask that because when Floyd used to get a lot of criticism from people across your side, I always used to ask, I said, okay, you don't like that, and I get it, you don't like that. But what are you going to do when he retires? Who's going to replace Floyd? Who's going to flag? Because you need someone to flagship the sport. Right? Over here, we've got Fury and AJ. They flagship the sport. Who's going to flagship the sport? I think the flagship player will come out of the Crawford and Spence fight if it were to happen. That's where I think it would arrive. You know what I mean? Doc says that Lisa, the biggest star in America is from Mexico. Lisa says that's a fact. Yeah. Boxing Hog 28, he said it's dead because American promoters don't know how to sell it. People give Eddie Hearn a lot of shit, but he is the only person who can actually sell a fight. It's a lost art. After Don King, nobody has stepped up. Yeah, that's a shame. Terence Crawford needs a promoter, doesn't he? He really needs a promoter. Terence Crawford really needs a promoter. Really does. Dojo, what did Gareth, the a-hole Davis, say? He just says a lot of crap in it. Like everyone, just he's just annoying. Just so annoying. Boxing Hub, being able to produce anyone who can sell boxing to the generation. I hear that, Boxing Hub. Mr. Doc, he said, I'd say we've gone soft in the sense that most of our helicopter parents wouldn't dream of putting their kids into a sport where they get punched in the face. I'll be honest with you, Mr. Doc. if my son said he wanted to box, I won't be too thrilled. Not because, and it's not even so much because of the risk. Yeah, it's like Devin Haney to get that Kambosos fight took 20%, right? And went from a free agent to these two old fucking bastards who have been in the sport, one since the 60s and the other one since the 90s, right? These two old fucking bastards deemed it appropriate that, yeah, we're going to take this out of your pie. I mean, like, to get the fight and still give you 20%, and the rematch ends up in Australia. And from being a free agent, you're going to be tied to ESPN and old Bob Arum who's about to keel over. So I wouldn't be keen if my daughter or son said, nah, I'd be like, I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure. And see, the thing is, you know, I mean, like, when kids ask you, yo, I want to be a boxer, and then you're trying to draft out this financial plan to do it. It's just like, I don't know. You're going to come into a lot of stick, like when Audley won the gold medal in the UK in 2000 in Athens. Was it in Athens? No, it wasn't in Athens. Where was it? Where was 2004 was Athens. Where was 2000? Sydney, Australia. He said to himself, okay, I'm going to talk to the BBC. I got this gold medal. No one's medaled gold in the UK for how long? So let me work out a deal. No Eddie Hearn, no Barry Hearn, no Frank Warren. I'm going to go solo with the BBC, A-Force Promotions. And what did they do? You see, what people have to realize, man, you can't really be a free agent. You can't really be a free agent. Because people like Hearn and Warren, what you have to remember, you see when Audley turned pro, Frank Warren used to have a column in the Daily Mirror, which is a popular red top tabloid. He had a column. So them guys have influence up there in Fleet Street, a whole load. They're powerful people. So all of Audley's headlines were negative. Everything he did or said was negative. They just buried him on everything. Everything. Until the deal was no longer tenable. And what happened? He ended up signing with Frank Warren, which he didn't want to do. And that killed his enthusiasm for the game. He ended up signing with the Hearns. There is no free agent. Even Canelo, right? Canelo couldn't just work out a deal with Caleb Plant and cut out the PBC, could he? And here's the thing. Here's why this is fucked up, right? Al Heyman is not a promoter. Right, that's what they say. He's not a promoter. So if Caleb is not signed to Al Heyman in the capacity of Al Heyman is his promoter, right? Why can't Canelo go directly to Caleb Plant, directly to Showtime, and just make the fight? And this is Canelo. No, he had to go through the PBC. There is no free agent. Because if you want to make a fight, and you want to make that fight on Showtime, Fox, ESPN, DAZN, you're going to have to go through Eddie Hearn, you're going to have to go through Bob Arum, you're going to have to go through Al Heyman. It's as simple as that. There is no free agent. There is no free agent. The sport of boxing is a law unto itself. Like, I was thinking about it, and that's the only thing I can come up with what happened to MTK and Pro Bellum is Bob Arum pushed them out. Bob Arum and maybe the other players like they pushed them out because they were doing too much too quick, too much too quickly, right? From 1 minute, there's MTK. See, the thing is, when MTK was just doing what they were doing, right? With no major network, I didn't see no American government, oh, we need to take this guy down, $5 million bounty. You see, the thing is, they ain't paying no one no fucking $5 million. If you go over there and say, yeah, I've got information, you think they're going to give you fucking $5 million? They ain't giving you no $5 million, right? This was all designed to bring down the company, right? We call out all these prominent businessmen, right? And say, look, this guy's bad. You can't stay around him because if you do, it's going to sully your reputation as a businessman. So they all dropped out. Bob Yalen, the CEO, he dropped out. Colin dropped out. Aram, he didn't only drop out, he started ad-libbing. He threw everyone under the bus who he could, right? MTK had to close down. All within a couple of seconds of the Americans fucking making some headline. And Pro Bellum are gone. Pro Bellum are gone. Because if you look at Pro Bellum, right, they were signing fighters nearly every fucking day. Every day you go to one of their websites. Pro Bellum just signed this guy. Pro Bellum just signed that guy. They started with Badou Jack, didn't they? And someone else was it in Saudi or Emirates? I know they're not the same place. One of the two. They were signing people every second. And what people are like, I know a lot of people are beat. This is too far fetched. Your theories are too far. No, it's not too far fetched. It's not too far fetched. When you try and dig up in them big man's pocket, when you start getting involved in their game, they're saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they will stop you. A lot of people don't understand that this is the real world, right? Then people might come out on TV and smile and be this amicable businessman in a suit and everything, but you go fuck with their money and you're going to find out, bro. You are going to find out what they're really about. It's as simple as that. Well, if anyone thinks it was just a random event, right, that two big companies just went bam within hours. First MTK and then Pro Bet, because Eurosport have cancelled their deal. They had a 5-fight deal, obviously a pilot deal, right? A 5-fight deal with Pro Bellum. 3 fights, 3 cards in. That's it. We're done. We're done. Where are they going to get a broadcasting home now? They're not. They're not going to get a broadcast. There's no credible network, television network out there who's going to put on Pro Bellum cards. There's none. There's none. Why? Because the sponsors are going to run a mile. Why? Because you're dealing with murder and guns and shit. That's what they're going to put out there. When the truth is, right, in the Western world, most of the big conglomerates, if we knew where all their starter money was, they'd all be fucking under scrutiny. All of them. All of them would be under scrutiny. When I say all, a lot of them would be under scrutiny. Yeah. True says, how does Alan Smith get stick for being creepy when Gareth A. Davis exists? I prefer Alan Smith. Yeah, I prefer. Answer la la. Appreciate that. It's got the hashtag there. Fan PR. Yes. Yes. No doubt. See, I didn't even tag it myself in the vid. So participation dropping off is another factor. Piracy doesn't help PB. Yeah, that's right, Lisa. It doesn't. It doesn't. See that? Yeah, that's another factor. That's another factor. Is the piracy. Is the piracy. You know, a lot of these pay-per-views. You know what I mean? Like Frank Warren is hoping to do 900,000. or man, people are just going to stream it. People, to be honest, when you put underground undercards like that one, yeah, of course they're just going to stream it. Of course they're going to stream it. Like, I'm in two minds to pay for it myself because he's done such a budge job. I'm in two minds. I'm in two minds. Yeah. They stuck it to them, bro. They stuck it to Pro Bellum. They stuck it to them. You know what I mean? £5 million bounty. Who's getting this £5 million bounty? Come on, man. This stupidness. Stupidness. Lisa Bell, she says Clarissa Shields is a double gold medalist. Gets no love here. It's sad, to be honest. And this is the thing, man. Like, Al Heyman, you know, like, no support at all. And I'm not saying that. I shouldn't even go there because I think, see, I'll be just following their line that because he's a black man, he should be helping out a black sister. But should he? Should he be helping her? But he hasn't got no one in there at all. The PBC don't have one female boxer. Not one female boxer there. Not one. Not one. Yeah, Clarissa had to sign with Double X, and now she's got a fight in Newcastle. But see, I don't feel sorry for her, Lisa. Don't get me wrong. I admire her for taking the job, but this is what British fighters have had to do. You know what I mean? Like British, if they were really serious about it, they've had to pick up their passport, man. Like when Lloyd Hunnigan wanted to become welterweight champion, undisputed, he had to go to Atlantic City, I believe it was Atlantic, and challenged Don Curry, and he got the belt. He got all three belts at the time, the three belts. He got the scraps. When Nigel Benn wanted to become middleweight champion, he went over to America, knocked out Doug DeWitt, defended against Iran Barkley, and that's what you do. That's what you got to do. Carl Froch, he went on the road. He had one fight, I think, in the UK with Pascal, but he fought Ward on the road. He fought Abraham on the road. Jermaine Taylor, that was in America. And you have to remember, at this stage of Carl Froch's career, before he done 80,000 at Wembley, he was struggling just to get a broadcaster. Like when he fought Jermaine Taylor, there was no advertisement for that. It was on ITV. No advertisement at all. You would just basically anyone who saw it live was just lucky. You just got lucky because it wasn't advertised in the paper. There was no build up that it was going to be, broadcast at this time or whatever. None at all. Even Amir Khan after a while was struggling for TV dates on ITV. And it wasn't until they got on Sky. Sky was a bit of a savior for British boxing around 2000. Let me see, maybe 2004. Yeah, 5 or whatever, 6. That became a savior. Yeah. Gareth A. Davis is an absolute disgrace. I can't stand the man. He is the type of slimy person who would screw anyone over to get where he wants in life. He has no loyalty to anyone who will jump ship. That's what Anthony Mackin says. Not going to disagree. Not going to disagree. Not going to disagree. Yeah. Clarissa's just got I like when Clarissa says, I'm not going to get knocked out and I'm going to show I'm going to win. Because that's what you need. Like, it's no point complaining or crying where it's going to be. They're holding it where, first, let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is boxing. They're holding it where they think Savannah will have an advantage in terms of crowd. The crowd is going to be pro-Savannah. We have to start there. And then secondly, that's where it generates the most money, is in Newcastle. That's because she's a Northeast girl. But then again, she doesn't have Al Heyman behind her. She's got Dimitri Salita behind her. She's got to travel to Europe. Dimitri Salita, he's got a big ego. He thinks he's like a top dog, but he's small potatoes, bro. Small potatoes. So she's had to hook up with Ben Shalom, and she still has to give Dimitri Salita a piece out of whatever she's getting from Double X. Because she's contracted to him. So he's probably helped her out with, money to sort of bills, accommodation out, and be able to train. So she's stuck. Anthony Mackin said, if boxing falls off tomorrow, the likes of Gareth A. Davis, Coogan, and Michelle Joy Phelps will start up YouTube channels on the next big thing. I remember when Coogan used to do red carpet interviews. See, literally, Coogan, ILTV, it was like they filmed anything, innit? Yeah. Look, Coogan's doing what he's got to do to survive in this rough world and feed his newly born baby. A lot of people don't like him. There's certain things about him I'm not too thrilled about, but I understand what it is. I understand where he's coming from. Yeah, of course they would. Of course they would. I mean, let's not forget Michelle Joy Phelps. She didn't start her channel herself. Someone's paid it's all been paid up for, isn't it? She's just kind of the face of it. It's all been paid up. But I can't be mad at her. She's an opportunist, isn't it? It's kind of like, is it Maya Jama? Remember they put her on the zone? She's not on there no more because she's a bit out of her depth. She admitted she doesn't know nothing about boxing. So it's cool that she's a bit of a looker, but she's out of her depth. You've got to know something about the sport. You've got to have a little bit of a connection to it. It is what it is. Lady Chan, what's good? What is good? Done them. Anthony Mackin. Van Heerden said that he was surprised by Connor's ferocity of speed. He said that Connor made him a fan. Wow. DJ DW, can you give a brief recap of Watson versus Eubank 2? Boy. All right. Basically, the fight was on my doorstep at the time. You know what I mean? White Hart Lane, Tottenham Ground. First fight was for the WBO middleweight title. Controversial draw. I didn't think it was that controversial. And Eubank retained his title. The second fight was for the WBO super middleweight title. I think was it a vacant belt? It could have been a vacant belt. It could have been a vacant belt. Anyway, the UK turned against Chris Eubank, right? They turned against, he was hated. They hated him because, he was aloof and he was trolling. That's why, what I don't get? People didn't see, he was trolling. He was trolling everybody. He was trolling, right? He's trying to stand out. So he's done mad stuff to stand out and sell himself. He was trolling. But they wanted Michael Watson to win. And because he didn't get that first fight, the country basically turned against him. And Watson was a nice kid. I think he went to church and stuff. He was becoming very aggressive. And Tim Westwood, he was DJing, and Michael Watson's ring walk music was "I'm Gonna Knock You Out." I remember Eubank talking about it in the documentary. So he was serious. Watson was a counterpuncher. But for this fight, he turned into a demon. He just went straight at Eubank. He went straight at him and didn't give him a minute's rest. And he was basically punishing Eubank. Eubank had a couple of minutes where he pinned him on the ropes, but he was getting out punched. So it seemed like it was a pro-Watson crowd, even though it was at White Hart Lane. And Watson had the Arsenal shorts. Arsenal are Tottenham's rivals. They're a couple miles up the road at the time when they used to play at Highbury. And he had the red and white Arsenal shorts. Eubank had the blue and white Tottenham shorts. So Eubank is hopelessly behind by the time we get into the 11th round. Eubank had an iron jaw. 100% had an iron jaw. But Watson got through, and he put together a 1-2, and Eubank went down. And everybody was thinking, this is the end. This is the end here. And I was supporting Eubank, and I remember me and my friend were watching this. It was an absolute war. So Eubank is down. Looks like it's over. He gets back up somehow, and Watson goes in to finish it. Eubank meets him with his right uppercut. Bam! Watson goes down, and his neck whiplashes on the rope. The bell rings. He goes back to the corner. Somehow Jimmy Tibbs let him back out for the last round. Somehow. But the damage had been done. Eubanks follows up. The referee stops it. Eubanks wins the fight. Amazing. Amazing fight. Amazing fight. Eubanks celebrating. Then Watson's on the floor. And it's like, uh-oh. What's going on here? What is going on here? You know what I mean? Watson is on the floor. And he don't look like he's getting up. It was 1990. I believe it was 1990. Let's check the year. It was 1990. Let me check the box rec. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, bro. So, no, it wasn't. It was 91. It was 91. There is no paramedic provision ringside, no anesthetists or anything like that. The ambulance takes Michael Watson to the North Middlesex Hospital in Edmonton, which is maybe a mile away from the Tottenham ground. They don't have the correct equipment to deal with this type of hemorrhage. They just don't have the equipment. So they have to go all the way to St. Bart. Is it St. Bart's? I think they had to go all the way to St. Bart's, just past Highbury. And that probably took about, I don't know, maybe 10 or whatever minutes if there was any traffic, 10, 20. And that's vital time. vital time with them injuries, and they managed to get him back together, but it took a lot of rehab for him to get back at any semblance of his previous life. It was deep, man. It was deep. He sued the British Boxing Board of Control, and they went broke for a while. He got a good sum of change, and Frank Warren actually helped him with his lawsuit. He did. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. British boxing was reformed after that. You know what I mean? Like, you had to have paramedics on deck, anesthetists, and all the other provisions. You know what I mean? You had to, or you just couldn't promote shows if you didn't have all that on deck. You know? Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. That was the end of Mike's career, man. That was the end of his career. They say Eubank lost his killer instinct after that fight there. And Barry Hearn basically fed him a lot of soft touches after that, because he didn't want to go through all that again. Yeah, it was crazy. Guzzy, he says, Frotch reckons Benn is not ready for Broner, Thurman, etc. I don't know. They have to step him up, though. They have to step the guy up. They can't just let him fight veterans. He's got to fight somebody, man. We have to know the truth. We need to know the truth. You know, if he's real, he's real. If not, you know, but they're gonna have to step him up. They're gonna have to. He should fight for the European title. But I don't know if they're gonna put him in with Avanesi. Yeah, it was a sick single punch. That uppercut was sick. It was sick, man. Eubank's uppercut was sick. DJ, how are Aram and Don King still alive? I think, you know what I mean, like, just the hustle is getting money probably still keeps them going, man. Thomas says we've all got at least one friend like John Fury, an idiot you can't take anywhere. Yeah, we all have them. Anthony Mackin, he said if he has kids, he would encourage them to play tennis or chess. But then again, you know, if your kids are determined to be boxers, what do? If I saw my kid was dedicated, like really determined, I'm not going to hold them back. I'm not going to. I'll let them do it. I know it's easy to say that, but I'll let them do it. Reluctantly. Yeah, man. If Whyte loses Saturday, this will be his first and last shot at the title. The WBC probably gave him this shot just to justify the sanctioning fees he has paid over the years. I don't like doing interviews. I could probably get into it all me, but I'm tired of doing it. I'm tired of doing interviews because I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to do interviews, but I don't think my style is suited, because I'm not gonna just do the interview to make them paint a narrative that I don't think is accurate. So when they're saying certain things that I know historically ain't correct, I'm gonna correct them, and that doesn't go down well. Murad Muhammad Promotions. He promoted Roy Jones and Manny Pacquiao and Razor Ruddock. Well, what happened to him is he fell off because Bob Arum took Manny Pacquiao, didn't he? And Roy Jones, that didn't last. Yeah, he just fell off. He just fell off. He done a lot of good stuff in the game, though. Done a lot of good stuff. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Duck. He promoted Ruddock too. Yeah. Jed Carl, I love the headline of this video. Exactly. This is an individual sport. Only yourself in the ring and no country has a right to the heavyweight title. Only the boxer who earns the acclaim in the ring. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So, you know, like I can feel like I've listened to some videos, and I can feel a certain amount of and even just the lack of videos. I'm just feeling a certain amount of resentment. And I'm thinking, well, you can't say the boxers over here don't deserve their success, like Fury and AJ and Dillian. You can't. Well, they can say that, but I would counter argument and say they deserve their success. Of course, they deserve it. Yeah, of course they deserve it. I mean, Fury went across the pond and arguably beat Wilder 3 times. Are you saying he doesn't deserve a big homecoming fight? Of course he deserves it. And I'm not even a big Fury fan like that, but he 100% deserves it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Shan said Americans don't rate the UK boxers, but yet it takes a UK promotion to sign their star. Golden Olympian, riddle me that. Look at Alicia Baumgartner. She's got skills. She's got what the youngsters would call swag. She got the swag, and she couldn't get a deal across there. How could she not get a deal? How has Eddie Hearn managed to sign a prospect like that and a champion there with a lot of upside, a lot of advertisement upside? She could be a huge star, you know. She could be a huge star, that girl. She could be a huge star. How no one in America didn't see that? I don't get it. That one I don't get. I know women's boxing isn't that popular and stuff, but that one I didn't get. I just didn't get it. I'm saying, damn. Yeah, he was a great counterpuncher, Lisa. Michael Watson. Jed Carl Watson came out to take Eubank's head in the. Yeah, he did. He went for it. He really went for it. Yeah, at Finsbury Park, he destroyed Benn that night, man. You know what I mean? Finsbury Park in the tent. Yeah. Yeah. But it was the Watson fight, really. McClellan, everything was in place for McClellan, but he was too far gone. So it was the Watson fight that really changed the protocols. McClellan had everything provided for him, but he was just like even that couldn't save him. It couldn't save his quality of life. Couldn't save him. Yeah. Yeah, the whiplash on the neck, Jed. I think that done all the damage it had to. You know what I mean? Done all the damage it had to. Christian Thomas, he says Whyte will win on Saturday. 1204 strikes back beats, bro. Who you got this week? See, that's a loaded question. Who have I got? Rooting for Dillian. More than likely, Fury wins on points though, or maybe late stoppage. Dillian, I think if anyone's going to get a spectacular knockout, I think it might be Dillian. But you know what I mean, the more likely outcome is Fury winning. Lady Chan, just correct them and keep the interview moving. But sometimes they take umbrage, innit? They take umbrage, man. They want to put out what they want to put out. Yeah, they do take it personally. They do. They do take it personally. Yeah, there are some recent Murad Muhammad interviews, Lee. So who did, like, is it Xavier? I can't remember his name. Who used to do the videos with what's his name? Muhammad. What's his name? I forgot his first name, man. Yeah, man. McClellan was nasty, man. That was a nasty beating. Consolidation predicted Fury by points or stoppage. Yeah. Yeah. Shan, she said there's going to be a stoppage, not points. I want Whyte to win, but I think Fury edges it, unfortunately. Yeah. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. I'm going to throw a link in there and do about 20 minutes more on there. Yeah, that's it. Shoot the 5 with Xavier Porter. That's the one, Lisa. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's a tough game, man. It's a tough game. Like, he put a lot of work in with Pacquiao. You know what I mean? You have to remember when Bob took him, like, my guy had him at an established level, right? He had him on the Tyson, Lennox Lewis undercard, Pacquiao. I think he was with him when he beat Barrera as well. And then Bob swooped in. Around 2004, I think Bob swooped in. And, you know, he never looked back, did he? Bob never looked back. Never looked back. See, Bob always swoops in. That's what Bob does. He swoops in. Bob swoops in like a vulture. You know what I mean? He swoops in. You can't blame him. He's a businessman. That's what he's there for. He's a businessman. So, although Dillian is far more fundamentally sound than Deontay Wilder, and he's a lot physically sturdier as well. So, I want to see it get into a toe-to-toe battle. That's what I want to see and see what happens. That's it. Leon Muhammad. That's the one, though. That's the one. I want to see it get into a toe-to-toe battle and see if Dillian can push Fury back. That would be interesting. That would be bloody interesting. But Fury got so much leverage, man. How do you push someone that size back physically? He's massive. Big dude. You see the size difference. Made him look like a cruiserweight. Listen, he's got a mammoth task, man. Be under no illusion. Rowan, he says, you good beats, do you think Teofilo Stevenson would have been a world champion if he went pro? You can never tell. It's hard to tell. You know what I mean? Like, pros and amateurs, like, he had a bomb of a right hand, but he knocked out some good people. You know what I mean? But you can never tell. Contrary, everyone is a cruiser in there with Fury. Yeah. I think AJ could physically match up well to him though. That's the thing. I think AJ could actually fit. I know no, he couldn't. I think he could. It's two different fights from the Usyk fight. It's two different fights. But but you know, everyone says, "Oh, but AJ would have to be that AJ." Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All right, people. I did put a link in there, but if no one's gonna jump in, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna jump out. Where are we at? 1 hour 25. The big dude, Fury. The big dude. Big dude. Yeah. Yeah, Dillian understands. He's been in camp with him, but it was a little while ago. You know what's funny though? There's like, you know what's weird? Is Fury ain't talking no shit at all. He's like really PC. What's all this about? Does he really want it? I don't know. I don't know. Dillian seems really relaxed. I think Fury seems like anyone can get knocked out. Anyone can get knocked out. Any one of us can, and he kept saying that. Dillian seemed pretty relaxed, man. And I like that. He seemed pretty like, comfortable. Seemed very comfortable. And that's where he needs to be. But there's a long way to go. Yeah, tell them China dumping over Friday. Yeah. Yeah, the presser was a bit mundane. It was a bit I think people were expecting a little more from them two at least. You know what I mean? I think people were expecting a little more. Yeah. Christian Thomas says the fight has upset written all over it. Dillian's got this. Jed says, I liked how both lads have handled the build-up. Yeah. Connie says, it feels like the dudes are pals. Yeah. I didn't realize that because they seem really cordial. You know what I mean? Like when they're actually talking to it, you can see that they didn't want to talk no shit to each other. Like, yeah. It was a strange press conference. It was strange. It was a strange one. You know what I mean? See, people saying, Dillian should have been there to build it up. But when he was there, it was all friends and, you know what I mean, friendly, maybe a bit too friendly. Guzzy, Beats, do you think Dillian is the most improved heavyweight? Well, he has to be up there when you consider where he came from to be number one contender, mandatory. He has to be up there, man. No Olympic pedigree, kickboxing background, off-road. Yeah, 100%. Has to be up there. Vast improvements. I remember when I used to watch Dillian on KO TV, man, like fighting these Europeans, wherever venues in the UK. And you know what I mean? I wasn't picturing this, man. I tell you that I wasn't picturing this. I don't know why I was picturing. I knew he was a prospect though. I knew there was something a little bit special about him, but I didn't picture this. No, I didn't picture this. Tyson said that once. If we were pals, that why can't we fight and make some money? Yeah, that's it. That's how boxers eat, isn't it? You fight each other, you make some money. Yeah. The pain game, man. The pain game. Yeah, man. Any more comments? Any more comments, people? Whyte vows to take out a lot of pain and frustration of Tyson Fury. The British Boxing Board, let me read this. We do not license MTK or Pro Bellum. We license individuals. What the fuck does that mean? They license promoters then? Is that what they're saying? Is that what they're saying? One sec. Assurances have been made to the WBO that the bantamweight title fight in Liverpool does not include the involvement of long-time advisor and accused crime lord Daniel Kinahan. A brief exchange between the WBO and the British Boxing Board of Control discussed the initial round of major headlines surrounding the controversial Irishman who was identified by the US Department of Treasury as a key member of the Kinahan organized crime group. The US government placed sanctions on Kinahan and 6 other members of the KOCG, along with 3 businesses tied to the crime group, all of which whom US individuals and companies are forbidden to conduct business. So what are they saying here? So we're talking about Pro Bellum and the managerial conglomerate MTK Global. In this Friday show in Liverpool, originally headlined by WBO bantamweight titleist John Casemiro, he was supposed to fight Paul Butler. Casemiro is no longer on the show. Butler, who was managed by the now disbanded MTK Global and is promoted by Pro Bellum, remains in the main event in a vacant interim title fight versus replacement opponent Jonas Sultan. Okay, so Pro Bellum are still going to promote. They just don't have Eurosport, so they're gonna probably have to work out a broadcasting strategy. You know what I mean? So they're not gone. They're not gone yet. They're not gone yet. They're not gone yet. To be honest, man, MTK did a good job for their boxers. They did do a good job. They did do a good job. Their management fees were a lot cheaper than the standard rate on the market. Their advisory fees were a lot cheaper than the standard rate on the market. And they've done good management, like is it Harlem Eubank Jr., Chris's cousin? They developed them guys. They're on their cards on YouTube with IFL. And there's a few more they developed. Well, keep it real. Wien, he says, do you think Whyte will stay working with Eddie Hearn after the fight? Do you think he will fight on the zone? I've not heard anyone question Dillian about this. Dillian's a free agent. He's a free agent. Well, as free as an agent you can be in boxing. So he's got a few options there, hasn't he? He's got a few options. I mean, if he can win, why wouldn't he just stay on Sky? If I was him, I wouldn't go in the zone. I wouldn't go on the zone. So the zone could try to do pay-per-view. No. Sky have got the proven platform. Stay on the zone. Stay on Sky, because Sky, you're getting advertisement through Sky News and all the other channels they have. Stay on Sky. Stay on Sky. Yeah, I remember Darren Hobson. He knocked him out in a round. Yeah. I remember Darren. Light skin, he was a light skinned brother, isn't it? Darren Hobson. Yeah, I remember. One round. Nigel Benn was frightening back then. He was unbeaten, Hobson, as well. Guzzy says Spencer Fearon is the MTK manager or something like that. I wonder if he would talk about it on his podcast. Maybe he will. I'll be listening to that if he does. I'd definitely like to hear his take on it if he has a take. Tahaka, what's up? Big up Tahaka. Big up John Dealey. Yeah, man. You too, 6P. Yeah. Good people. Yeah, he had a lot of knockouts, that Darren Hobson. That was supposed to be a test for Benn, but it didn't last, man. Yeah, I remember that in the 80s. Was that 80s? Yeah, we're talking 80s that time. Yeah, 80s. God knows where the time goes, man. Lord knows where the time goes. Yeah, stay on Sky, man. That's where you built your platform for the pay-per-view. Stay on there. Stay on there, man. You know what I mean? Stay on there. It depends, though. If Sky going to pay him a bag full of money, he ain't going to care where he fights or how much. What do you mean? If the zone are going to get the likes of Dillian and AJ to stand there, they're going to have to pay enough money. Enough money. Enough money. Hold on. Okay. Oh, Oscar De La Hoya is in some ish, isn't he? Oscar isn't. Oh, Oscar, what happened? Woman alleges in civil suit that Oscar De La Hoya sexually assaulted her twice. Not funny. Not a joke. Okay, so an executive for a tequila company alleged in a civil lawsuit that Oscar sexually assaulted her on 2 occasions. Okay. In his hotel room in Casa, Mexico. Oh, this is recent. It will be March 2020. Oscar, man, Golden Boy. I don't know, man. Like, he's just. This isn't the first time he's been in something like this either. You know what I mean? This isn't the first time. See, everybody in the comment section are saying The woman's lying. She's trying to, I mean, a little get rich quick scheme. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to accuse Oscar or anything, but Wayne Paget, what's Sam Jones' future? Man, Sam Jones is an idiot, man. I don't know what Richard Schaefer's future is. Are they gonna see that they're gonna put on this fight on Friday, regardless if Eurosport pulled out? But when do they go? I mean, Richard Schaefer ain't gonna be scratching around to put fights on YouTube, surely. No, with no broadcaster, surely not. See, people were laughing when I said, "Yo, Fury might just start defending his belt on Eurosport." Oh, they can't have fights like that on Euros. Listen, the Klitschko's have had title fights, live title fights on Eurosport. What are you talking about? It's a broadcaster. All you need is the network, the broadcaster, and the boxer. Once you have that, then you start organizing events. All the components are there. What else do you think you need a magic wand? No, they've got what they need. Got what they need. Oh, George Arias and Hughie Fury? That's interesting, Ron. That kid, Arias, has been inactive, though. That's his issue, isn't it? He's been inactive. Isn't Alan Babbage is challenging for some Bridgerweight title, some WBC international belt? That's what I heard. I heard the story somewhere. So he's moving down. Lisa said, Oscar, get yourself some help. Better it's too late. Yeah. There's something not right with Oscar, Lisa. Something not right with him. I'm not saying he's guilty or anything, but there's something not right. Something not right about it. Yeah, that's what they need, Jen. They need the broadcaster. They need the broadcaster. But now that Bob and the government have put them out there, what credible broadcaster is going to let them put on shows? And they've got hundreds of fighters that need feeding, and that ain't got no broadcaster. Crazy. Crazy. Some of them are going to jump, and a lot of them fighters ain't going to wait around. They're going to jump ship. They're going to be calling Eddie, calling Frank. They're going to be calling Ben Shalom, Callie, and Reese at Channel 5 because they want to work. They want to work. Sam Jones is an idiot, man. Rowan Brown beats. Your thoughts on Tyson Fury versus John McDermott 1? And do you think John got robbed? I don't know if it was a robbery, but he won the fight. John McDermott did win the fight. Yeah, he did win. He did win. Bad decision. Bad decision. Bad decision. Everybody knows it who watched it. Bad decision. Rowan Brown, I think George Arias had a boxing match with Cassius Chaney 4 months ago. Yeah, but before that, when did he fight? It's been a little while because I remember they used to be big talk about that kid. And then he went quiet. He's the shortish heavyweight, about 6 foot, squat heavyweight. Yeah. Crazy, man. too much happening in the sport, man. And then, I mean, look, man, big up America, yeah? But America don't really give a shit about drugs and murder, bro. You know what I mean? Wasn't it J. Edgar Hoover who dumped a lot of crack into the hoods back in the day? Remember the Iran-Contra in the 80s? Come on, man. We don't believe you. You need more people. American government, they're not easy. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Joe Daly, Johnson, he just hates Adam Smith. Adam is just like, he's I'm not keen on Adam Smith. I really ain't. John Dealey says the way he kissed Fury's ass and dissed AJ after the Ruiz loss, I think AJ should go with the zone for the Eubank rematch and see how the numbers go. Go point. They did exactly what you said is what they did. Yes. Yeah. Guzzy says, even if this case is bogus, Oscar is just open for lawsuits. Yeah, because he's reckless. Oscar's a reckless youth. Reckless. Reckless. Too reckless. Who was it then, Lisa? I've got the thing, yes. I've got the... Who was it? Who infected it? Who infected the areas with crack? It was definitely the CIA, wasn't it? It was the CIA. It wasn't crack. It was heroin. It's probably a different drug, Lisa, but you know what I mean? That man done a lot of evil stuff. Let's just put it that way. I haven't got all the facts here. I don't think America care about, you know what I mean, like the crime that Daniel Kinning is doing. I don't believe they do. I think big business, they're in bed with big business to get him out of there. You know what I mean? I can imagine going, oh, fuck this guy, man. We need to get rid of him. It's trouble, man. It's trouble. We get rid of it. Yeah? He used to work in the government attorney's office, Bob Aaron, man. Bob Aaron, you know, like, he knows powerful people, even up till today. Even up till today. That's why he done all that dry snitching. Because he doesn't give a shit. That's how they did, but I mean, like, that's how they disbanded the Black Panther Party and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, with the drugs in the hood, man, and you know what I mean? See, like one of them agencies. Crazy. Amir Khan got robbed at gunpoint in Leighton, you know. In Leighton. Let me tell you this, man. For some reason, a lot of these politicians are able to paint this picture of London like this great tourist attraction, but when you come out of the main parts where they're talking about like the posh bits or anything, like whatever. Look, London's a mess. London is a mess. But then again, if you're rocking 72 grand watches, like even if you've got security, Because, I mean, unless you're special forces or whatever, you can't pack, can you, in the UK? 72 grand watch in Leighton. Them bars ain't got no money like that. When whoever saw that, they just said, yeah, 72 grand watch. He said it was quite shocking to see a done pointing at him. And you could see they were young. They seemed a bit nervous, and he kept saying, take off your watch. So he's saying that the watch is worth nearly 6 figures, and somebody may have targeted him after he was seen with the watch at a restaurant. Ugh. He was taking pictures with a lot of people. That's sad, isn't it? You can't even have nothing because people are going to want to teeth it from you. Can't have anything. See, I realize that I'm the problem when I'm saying, yeah, you look at you, your 72 grand watch. See, by saying that, I'm enabling them to justify to take his 72 grand watch. Just because I can't rock that kind of, I mean, I ain't rocking no 72 grand watch. No way, right? It doesn't mean that someone else who does have that kind of money can't. I mean, he can do that. He can do that, but I tell you what, man. There's a lot of people in this borough who just need to be put down like feral animals. It sounds horrible to say it, but it's crazy. The last time I spoke to them after the interview, I said that they saw where the car went, and they've got in that radius, they've got cameras around that car concert. The local authorities immediately launched an investigation. I'm a fighter. There was a time I thought he had the pistol and I could just move to the pistol to the side and hit him. I would have hurt the guy. The only thing that stopped me was having my wife not far from behind me. Even if he shot the gun and even if it didn't hit me, it could have hit someone else. Wow, man. He said he doesn't feel safe in London. I'm in the city, London, which is obviously a very well-known town and everyone loves London. Now, after I was robbed, you start hearing all the stories. You start reading up on all the robberies that have happened. I mean, it's quite regular. Yes, it is. That's what people don't understand. Like, it's crime infested. Literally, it's crime infested. Like, homeless people, drug addicts. Like, I was looking at my mum's neighbor, an African brother, and me and him was cool. We all sat around and talked for a little while. And he had these people going through his bins and shit, like, you know what I mean, just trying to scavenge. He's like, dude, you can't just walk in my spot like that. And they were being aggressive with him for saying that. Telling you, man. Telling you. Crazy. Yeah, CIA. Market, yeah, CIA. It's all in the book Dark Alliance, which was adapted into the film Kill the Messenger. That's the one, Lisa. COINTELPRO. Yeah, you see? See, you guys know. You lived it. You lived it, so you know. Yeah, COINTELPRO. Right. So I don't believe that, it was just good intentions because Daniel's this bad guy. No, they've got other motives behind it, man. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Yeah. John Dealey said J. Edgar Hoover was mad racist. He had a file on Sonny against him. I am suspicious he had Sonny arrested during the mid-1950s, and I am not convinced Sonny actually assaulted that police officer. But they just flipping made Sonny's life a misery. Yeah, it's not the first time cars got robbed, is it? It's crazy. Well, he probably ain't coming back to London again. I won't blame him. Yeah, COINTELPRO, Lisa. That's the word. COINTELPRO. That's the word. That's the word. Jed Carl, there is so much violence amongst all the Western cities around the world, but people are just oblivious and ignorant of it because of what the TV shows of nice stereotypes feed to brainwash people around the world. It's sad, man. It is sad. It is sad. It is sad. It is sad. I can't see what else they can do, man. Like, the drug addiction is just flipping crazy, man. Crazy. Homeless people. What area are you talking about, Guzzy? The CCTV. What's that? Of Khan. Is there footage of it? Crazy. Rowan, what fans are worse, Golovkin or Khan? They both have their moments, don't they? They both have their moments. Diobinudi, what's up? What's up? Yeah. Sounds a bit evil, isn't it? I don't know. Am I too draconian saying that to wipe them out? But to me, like, if you're gonna go around, I don't care if you're young and you've got to give them a chance because they're young. If you're going around with a knife, what am I supposed to say? Oh, like, healing with love and no, man, no, 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 no. Yeah, man. J.K. Green, what's up? Yeah. Sad, really. Sad, really. People can't even enjoy their money. Can't even enjoy their money. It's sad. So, man had to work hard for whatever he has. For that to happen to him, it's not good, really, is it? Not really good. All right, people. We end on that sad note.